Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the hottest topics in the Resident Evil community, the long-rumored Resident Evil 0 remake. From mysterious leaks and code names to actual development details, we're breaking it all down. So hit that like button, subscribe if you love survival horror, and let's jump right in.
Who's controlling the train?
She's just a rookie, a member of STARS.
Overview: Resident Evil 0 remake rumors. The talk about a Resident Evil 0 remake has been brewing for years, but things started heating up recently when new leaks began surfacing online. Over time, whispers from insiders and resume slips have painted a picture that feels too detailed to ignore. Fans have always expected Capcom to eventually remake every classic RE game, and after Resident Evil 4 Remake, it seems that 0 might finally be next in line. The codename linked to this mysterious project is Project Chamber, which instantly made fans think of Rebecca Chambers, the protagonist of Resident Evil 0. The name fits almost too perfectly. Recent details suggest that this remake won't just be a visual overhaul, but could expand the story, characters, and maybe even tweak the original gameplay structure. And let's be honest, it could use a little modernization. We all remember wrestling with that item management system. What is Project Chamber? Codename and development. So what exactly is Project Chamber? We already know it's the internal codename for the Resident Evil 0 remake. The title makes sense, considering the game's focus on Rebecca Chambers' leaks point to Capcom collaborating with Beyond Capture Studios, a company that specializes in performance capture and cinematic work. Apparently, production began sometime in 2024, with early sessions focusing on motion capture and environmental design. Multiple reliable sources suggest that Project Chamber has been in a quiet pre-production phase for years, but only picked up full development speed once Resident Evil 4 Remake wrapped up. Some early developers have even teased that this project will feature a significant upgrade in cinematic presentation. Think fewer fixed camera angles, smoother transitions, and more emotionally grounded scenes. Interestingly, a few motion capture professionals have referenced Project Chamber on their resumes, which is basically the digital version of leaving the door half open. So yeah, the evidence is stacking up faster than a stack of green herbs. Leak details: story, characters, and casting changes. Now, here's where things get juicy. The leaks around Resident Evil 0 Remake hint at major narrative and casting updates. Apparently, the story will be expanded beyond the original's isolated setting. The Ecliptic Express, that creepy train from the opening, might have a much bigger role this time around, with new passengers and crew members adding layers to the story. One interesting new addition is a train conductor character, supposedly fleshed out to add emotional depth and connect some narrative dots from Resident Evil 1. The leaks also suggest that Rebecca's backstory and motivations will be explored more deeply, giving her a more personal journey instead of just being the medic caught in a bad day. As for casting, voice and performance capture reportedly began in 2024. Actor John McLaren, who previously voiced Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy, is rumored to be part of the cast. His name was linked to Project Chamber on a professional resume, which fans quickly spotted. If that's true, this could mean we're looking at a more emotionally intense and cinematic version of the game, perhaps leaning into the tone of Resident Evil 2 Remake rather than the campy feel of the original. Sources also mentioned that the remake will have a reimagined tone, darker, moodier, and much more cinematic. The goal seems to be to make players feel Rebecca's fear and isolation more vividly. With new voice direction and upgraded motion capture, Capcom might be giving Resident Evil 0 the emotional weight it always deserved. Release timeline: when to expect it. Alright, when can we actually expect to play this thing? Based on the leaks and insider reports, Capcom is reportedly targeting 2028 for the release of Resident Evil 0 Remake. Meanwhile, Code Veronica, another long-awaited remake, might hit shelves around 2027, acting as a warm-up for this one. Now, I know 2028 sounds far away, but considering Capcom's careful development pipeline, it tracks. Each major Resident Evil remake has had a 2 to 3 year gap, and Capcom is known for spacing out releases to maintain quality plus. With Resident Evil 9 expected first, it makes sense for Project Chamber to follow once that's done. From what's been gathered, internal scheduling and capture sessions in 2024 indicate a long-term plan, possibly with Capcom's RE engine getting another round of upgrades. So don't hold your breath just yet, but we can probably expect to see a teaser or an official confirmation somewhere around late 2026 or early 2027. It's worth noting that Capcom hasn't confirmed anything officially, and their channels remain silent. But that silence, that's usually when something's cooking behind the scenes. Official confirmation? Is it actually announced? Here's the million-dollar question. Is it official? The short answer, not yet. Capcom hasn't confirmed the Resident Evil 0 remake or Code Veronica remake as of now. Every single detail so far comes from leaks, insider chatter, and performance capture resumes. Still, these clues come from pretty consistent and credible sources, not random internet whisper. The Times of India recently highlighted that Capcom has several unannounced projects in motion, many of which tie into existing IP. This lines up with the idea that multiple remakes are being worked on simultaneously. Meanwhile, Rely on Horror's breakdown of Project Chamber emphasized that while Capcom hasn't said anything directly, there's too much overlap between leaked data and studio activity for it to be coincidence. Historically, Capcom likes to play things close to the chest. Remember how Resident Evil 4 Remake wasn't confirmed until long after leaks began? So yeah, we're probably seeing the same pattern here. The official word might not drop until the game is well into mid-development, especially if Capcom wants to reveal it with a polished trailer. For now, the Resident Evil community is buzzing with speculation. Some fans are even debating whether Capcom will overhaul the entire gameplay system, maybe making it closer to Resident Evil 2 remake structure with free camera movement and updated puzzle. If that happens, Resident Evil 0 could finally get the love it missed the first time around.
It began as a simple investigation of some bizarre murders in the suburbs of Raccoon City. Nothing in our training could ever have prepared us for the nightmare that ensued.
What's going on? Engine failure.
Marvelous verdict. So that's everything we know about Resident Evil 0 Remake and the mysterious Project Chamber. Whether it's official or not, all signs point towards something big in the works. What do you guys think? Are you excited to see Rebecca Chambers return? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more Resident Evil deep dives and gaming news. See you next time.